everyone, welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, where just about anything can be made in this room. Today I'm doing the quick flip through of my June Just 15 Junk Journal Challenge with Dear Julie. I had my list here handy. There we go. I showed you my kit earlier in the week, and I will link that down below. The video is, the journal is done. I'm sorry, I'm battling a headache, so I wanted to make sure I could get this up in time for Friday freebie. We were to make 15 specific elements: a double tuck with 3 inserts, a collage page, a flip-flop page, flip up, flip down with an insert, privacy envelope idea with insert, I have 2 of those, embellished signature ties, favorite item to make, a tassel, a top tuck with an insert, a double bank envelope with 2 inserts, 4 assorted altered paper clips, 4 large tags, 4 embellishments using napkins, and 4 stenciled and or stamped pages. I think I've stayed pretty much on grid with whatever I chose. I wanted to do a garden book that I could track items, things, progress in my garden. And so I thought this was a perfect time to do this. I used the garden fruits and vegetables from Dear Julie's digital kit, and I will link her digital kit down below. Let's start with my tassel. These were the items and fibers that I had pulled to use. And we could do, aside from the 15 items that we needed to make, and things for us to work with, she gave us the option of having 4 cards any type, 4 game pieces, and 4 lengths of ribbon, fabric, or lace 24 inches long. So my tassel was the very first thing that I made, so that once I cut the length off for my tassels, I knew how much other lengths of the fiber that I had to work with, and I didn't use hardly any of what was left over at all. Let's start on the inside. I did a front belly band. I used a rub-on from Tulip Paint. The die is a Stampin' Up die, and you'll see this paper quite a bit in here as border trims and whatnot. This is the top. When you've got the big desk blotter calendars and you tear the page off, this is the part that's up near the top. And I have saved, I used one of those desk blotter calendars as one of my items. And I have this large length of the leftover paper that I just turned into a paper roll, so I'll always have it when I need a little something for something else. I know that made absolute sense. Next inside page, this was one of the scrapbook embellishments. It says, "Therefore all seasons shall be sweet to thee." It's a Samuel Taylor Coleridge quote, and one of my coffee dyed doilies, my washi tape collection that I chose to use. Then here's one of the first pages of the catalog. Now I've got 2 signatures, so I went January through June in the first signature, July through December in the second signature. And you'll see here, this is what I chose to do with some of that top remnant of the calendar page. I've turned it into border ruffle, and I have 2 pages with the border ruffle in each of the 2 signatures. My stenciling, a little bit of the lace as a tab. Another one of the doilies folded into a triple tuck. So I've got a space here, and I could actually add a 4th space there. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And there's several of these in here. I did 2 of this type of doily fold in each of the 2 signatures. My coffee dyed graph paper. This is one of the 4 cards that I chose, and it just flips open, so I've got plenty of writing space here. I tried to leave as much writing space as possible so that I could document what I want for the journal or add pictures. Here's another type of that doily fold that gives me 2 pockets and a big tuck. And these images are all part of the Dear Julie garden vegetables and fruits. And then this one is actually this same doily folded over, and I will be showing that in a tutorial video. Actually, what I'll do instead is I will link the video down below of the gal who showed me how to do this. And then in this tuck, I've got just a fold over graph paper with one of the floral images from the digital kit, another one from that scrapbooking kit, and more Julie's kits. This is the bulletin board, roll of bulletin board paper, and it didn't want to lay flat. It wanted to keep curling up on the corner, so I just folded it over, glued it into place, and made it into a tuck. And then this one here is my flip up, flip down. So I flip up, flip down, and then I've got some of that graph and ledger paper in here to write on. So that's my flip up, flip down. Then we go here. I added some of the lace. I did 2 fabric flips, 1 in each signature, so I could bring in some more of that floral lace. 1 large doily in each of the signatures. Another of the doily tucks and items from Julie's kit. Oops. This is my top tuck, and again from Julie's kit, and then I just took one of the cards and I edged it with washi tape, and it just tucks up in the top. This is a full page from Julie's kit. Again, 1 in each signature. And then these are my signature ties for this one, and then in the other signature you'll see where I used some of the micro flowers from Julie's kit to do the signature ties on the other one. And this one, I just took, grab that lace, I just sandwiched my binding string between 2 of the flowers and glued them together, and that gave me my signature tie there. My green ribbon as a page edge tab. This was one I was playing with, used some of my napkin trim, some of my dyed digitals, and then I made, this was one of my napkin items where I just made a little booklet with some of the leftover coffee dyed graph paper, and that tucks into there. This was one of my bank envelopes. This one has a pocket on the tuck on the front to tick that in, and then it flips up. So I've got all this writing space, but then it also has a pull out here with writing space with some of the leftover napkin trim and one of Julie's digital cards. And then this one's another simple doily, just folded up 1/3 of the way, glued on the ends, glued at the bottom to tuck in. So I've got, I can write here, or I can flip that up and leave that card in there, and then I've got this text spot here with the bigger tag, and that's one of my large tags. That's the second ruffle in this signature. And another piece of that wallpaper is a page. This is one that I used with one of Julie's digitals, but it folds down and then it folds out. My glue stick. And then I've got all this writing real estate here as well. And then that just folds up and tucks in. I have my camera arm, I'm back in my stamping corner, back at my filming table, and it's going to take me a little bit to get everything readjusted as to making sure everything fits. This was just a leftover piece of that napkin, some washi tape, some of Julie's digitals, and then one of her large playing cards tucked in behind. This was my junk mail and another one of the items from that scrapbooking, and I haven't, after the challenge was over with, so I can go back in and add what I want, I'm going to cover this in white stationery, and so I've got additional writing space there. But when I glued it to this page, it showed through this stuff, so I cut it at the top and just glued that to the next page, And so now I have a pocket here as well. Into signature number 2, another one of those corner doily tucks with more Julie's digitals. This was my collage page, and what I did was I went through the Burpee seed catalog and I cut out images of everything that I have planted or coming up in my garden. And that's my garden page. Another flip. Another one of the quotes from that scrapbooking embellishment kit. Nature never did betray the heart that loved her. William Wordsworth. This is my bank envelope. Now this does multiple things. For my game pieces, I used 2 of my bingo markers and put them on a pop dot and then topped them with a couple of the digital flowers from Julie's kit so that I made them close like a coin envelope. This has another one of the large tags in it with the lace ties. Then it has a journaling spot here that goes into the side tuck. And then I've had just a little bit of torn doily behind another flower, and then this will flip over and I've got this space behind. So that was my bank envelope. More of that leftover napkin to decorate that page. I love that, something about that script and that floral that I just really liked. I couldn't not use it. But this will give you an example of how that napkin showed through, the stuff shows through this sketch paper, and why I made the pocket out of that other one. This is my flip flop, and it flips open this way, and I've got lots of writing real estate on the inside. And then over here, this was the flip tuck, I'm sorry. Add in border tuck flip with an insert. So this is my one insert under my flip, and this is the tuck. And we're into December, first half of December. Took another piece of that napkin and just glued it to the center of one of those doilies just for I can journal all around that space. Another one of the third fold-up doilies and digitals from Julie's, and this is another one of my large tags. Stamped image, this is from Stampin' Up, and I will link this set down below. This is my other envelope. Remember how I cut that half and it flipped this way? Well, this one's going to flip this away and also has an insert on the inside with plenty of writing space. Now, I've rounded the corners of things that need to tuck into pockets that wanted to fight with me. Rounding the bottom corners that have to go into the envelopes or into your pockets lets them slide into those pockets easier. Another one of the hummingbird. I really put that napkin to use. Well, I was supposed to make 4 elements, so I guess that worked. This was a larger one of those frames, like I have on the front belly band from the Stampin' Up! Die set. Another one of those doily pockets that goes over the page. You can see here better how it folds over the page, so you've got the same pockets front and back. It works better if they stay in place too. So, so there's that one, and then I've got another element here behind. I may need to glue that one at the bottom. I thought I had. And then this is one of my other cards that I got to work with, and this is a vintage card. You can fluff the butterfly wings closed. If I can get my fingers to do what I want them to. This comes right off of there, lots of writing space. Then I can tuck the butterfly back in place. And another corner doily tuck. And another paper ruffle. And then in the back, there was a spot that had been cut out here. I'm not sure what it was, so I covered it with one of Julie's images, and I added a smaller, similar image to the top to give this flower dimension. Another one of my large tags, and then I made a pocket with one of Julie's larger cards. And that is my June Just 15 Junk Journal Challenge. If I don't get it up tomorrow, it will be up on Monday for Mixed Media Monday, where I'm going to be pulling the July Junk Journal Kit. I need to print out her list and go through and pull everything. but I wanted to make sure I had this one and all the remnants for this one put away before I drug out a new one. So there is plenty of time. Oh, the 4 paper clips. I had them buried under my paper. Hang on. These are the 4 paper clips that we had to make. Oh, and there's another pocket embellishment that I made that I need to find a spot for. I had it sitting with the paper clips. But these are the 4 paper clips that I made. With the playing card, this dating piece. I love that little gardener girl image. So those were my 4 paper clips. But one of my favorite things to make for junk journals is hidden paper clips. So I made this one, which is a double hide. You can't see the paper clip at all from front or back, except on the top. And this was one of my cards. I'm going to fold this so it's got some body, and it will slide right up in there. And I used a butterfly paper clip for this one so it would hold larger items. So those were my paper clips for this. I just hadn't decided where in the journal I want to put them yet. So that's next on my list to do. And then I can add this to my shelf. I'm gradually starting to get more of a schedule and videos up. I'm also going to be showing, I'm a planner girl, so I'm participating in One Book July, and I will have that video on here and on my author channel. I'm going to start doing Stampin' Up! Sundays, Shout Out Saturdays, and those should start running next week. Not this coming Saturday, but next Saturday. So Bob's schedule got changed. He's home an extra week, so I'm spending as much of that extra week with him as I can, so things are just a little bit behind. But we'll get there. Thanks for joining me in the studio today. I hope you like this video. Click the subscribe button and remember to click that little bell and click to all notifications so you never miss when a new video on my channel goes live, because I'd love to have you stop by the studio. Thanks for joining me today. Creative blessings.